few news stories for you. Firstly, we have two news stories from Somalia, where in two explosions, more than a dozen persons were killed in two places. Secondly, President Farmajo and PM Roble has declared an agreement between a Somali Ministry of Petroleum and a US based company null and void. Then some news stories from Munich, Germany, where Tigrayans and Oromos protested. We know that in Munich, International Security Conference was held, 2 day conference, I think, and there a large rally from Tigrayans and a large rally from Oromos was seen. Last was two updates about Fano. Some Fano members were arrested on Friday in Gojam. Dozens of Fano members were arrested, and some new Fano recruits in Voldia. Firstly, viewers, Somalia. Today, an armed group carried out two attacks in Somalia, and more than a dozen persons have been killed in these two attacks. First attack was carried out in Beledweyne, which is a town in Hirsha Bale region of Somalia. In this attack, at least 10 civilians were killed, including two deputy district commissioners. And more than a dozen were injured. In this town, elections are due to be held for parliamentary seats. Then, second attack was carried out in Busaso. Busaso is in Puntland state. In this attack, 2 civilians were killed and 13 were injured. In Busaso as well, parliamentary election is due to be held. By the 25th of February, Somalia's government is expected to complete elections in her regions. Then presidential election will be held. These elected MPs will vote for the new president. So before elections in Beledweyne and Busaso, two explosions have been reported. Secondly, was yesterday, Somalia's Ministry of Petroleum announced an agreement with a US-based exploration company, Coastline Exploration Limited is a US-based exploration company. The company explores hydrocarbons, petrol gas reserves, and Minister of Petroleum's Minister Abdi Rashid yesterday announced that ministry had signed 7 agreements with this US-based company for exploration of oil and gas in Somali waters. But today, President Farmajo and PM Roble both distanced themselves from this agreement, from these agreements. Both say the agreements are null and void because elections are underway. During elections, the government officials, the ministers cannot sign such agreements. It's up to the new government, the new president, the new prime minister to sign such agreements. The question was, how did Minister of Petroleum sign these agreements without an approval from the PM or the president? It means approval was there either from the PM or from the president. But now they seem to be denying this approval. Secondly, viewers, we know that in Munich, Germany, International Security Conference was underway. And the conference focused mainly on Russia-Ukraine conflict. Zelensky, Ukraine president, was also there. Putin did not end the conference. Top world leaders were there from Europe, from North America, from Asia as well. Tigrayans and Oromos protested in Munich while the world leaders were there. Oromos protested against the plight of Oromo Ethiopian migrants in Saudi Arabia, and they called for the release of Oromo prisoners in their protest. We know that thousands of Ethiopians are in prison in Saudi Arabia. A few days ago, an Ethiopian delegation, high-level delegation, visited Saudi Arabia, but the issue could not be resolved. Tigrayans protested against Ethiopian government, against Eritrean government, against Turkey as well. They called upon NATO countries that they should stop Turkey from sending weapons to Ethiopia. They should hold Turkey accountable for what it did. Watch two videos. The first video shows Tigrayans protest in Munich. And the second video shows the protest by Oromos in Munich.
We want peace! We want peace! We want peace! We want freedom! We want freedom! Who are we? Tagaru! Who are we? Tagaru! Who are we? Tagaru! Who are we? Tagaru! What do we want? Freedom! What do we want? Freedom! When do we want it? Now! When do we want it? Now! Release all Tagaru! Release all Tagaru! Free Tagaru! Free Tagaru! Free Tagaru!
Mach ein bisschen Deutsch, bitte. Mach ein bisschen Deutsch. Ein bisschen, mach mal Deutsch auch. Deutsch auch. Hört auf. Deutsch.
No media coverage of their issues, even though the Saudi government is willing to release them from prisons and send them home. Ethiopian government has refused to accept them. We call upon the UN, IOM, UNHCR, the US, the EU, the AU, the UK, and other governments of the world to exert the maximum pressure on Ethiopian government to allow all migrants who are suffering in prisons in Saudi Arabia to return home. Let it be in Saudi Arabian, leidende Oromo Ethiopian Migranten. Millions von Oromo Ethiopian Migranten zu Kurden von diktatorischen.
Lastly, viewers, Fano recruits were arrested on Friday in East Gojam zone. Reportedly, 80 new Fano recruits were arrested in Gojam, in East Gojam zone. Name of the place is Dejan. In Dejan, I think it's a district. In Dejan, East Gojam zone, the new recruits were taken into custody. What we have learned is that their training was being done without the approval of government authorities. That is why the recruits were arrested on Friday. But we have seen that recruitments, trainings are underway across Amhara region. In the previous video, I told you about Kobo. In Kobo, I showed you pictures of armed Fano recruits. Now you can see pictures from Voldia. In Voldia as well today, a large number of Fano recruits completed their training. So recruitments, arming, trainings underway. Don't know what happened in East Gojam. Why is East Gojam arresting these Fano recruits? Otherwise, in North Shoa, in Wallo, in Gondar, in other parts of Gojam as well. Fano recruitments are underway.